Good morning, this is Jerry with Naked Bible Study. Picking up on chapter 18 of the book of Matthew. As you read through the Gospels, and you'll find oftentimes the disciples, it's crazy for people who are right there with Jesus, seeing all these miracles, all these signs, all this prophecy being fulfilled. And the things that they were worried about or thinking about or concerned about just kind of made you want to shake your head, really. But anyhow, we'll see some of that, because keep in mind in the earlier chapter there, he talked about Peter. Remember, like one verse, he was talking about, I'm going to build my church upon this rock, and then a few verses later, he's telling him, "Get thee behind me, Satan." So these I don't know. These disciples were asking themselves, or kind of bickering between themselves about, who's great or who's the greatest and all this stuff. So chapter 18, at the same time came the disciples unto Jesus, saying, "Who is the greatest in the kingdom of heaven?" And Jesus called the little child unto him and set him in the midst of them, and said, "Verily I say unto you, except ye be converted and become as little children, ye shall not enter into the kingdom of heaven. Whosoever therefore shall humble himself as this little child, the same is greatest in the kingdom of heaven. And whoso shall receive one such little child in my name receiveth me. But whoso shall offend one of these little ones which believe in me, it were better for him that a millstone were hung around his neck, and that he were drowned in the depths of the sea." A quick little break on that. Imagine all these child traffickers that you're hearing about in the news, and these these perverts, really, these child molesters. Imagine how they're going to be dealt with by Jesus. Woe unto the world because of offenses, for it must needs be that offenses come, but woe unto that man by whom the offense cometh. Wherefore, if thy hand or thy foot offend thee, cut them off and cast them from thee. It is better for thee to enter into life halt or maimed, rather than having 2 hands or 2 feet to be cast into everlasting fire. So he's trying to tell you it'd be even better for you to be maimed than to suffer the consequences of hell. And if thy eye offend thee, pluck it out and cast it from thee. It is better for thee to enter into life with 1 eye, rather than having 2 eyes to be cast into hellfire. Take heed that ye despise not one of these little ones. For I say unto you that in heaven their angels do always behold the face of my Father which is in heaven. For the Son of Man is come to save that which is lost. How think ye, if a man have 100 sheep, and one of them be gone astray, doth he not leave the 99 and go into the mountains, and seeketh that which is gone astray? And if so be that he find it, verily I say unto you, he rejoiceth more of that sheep than of the 99 that went not astray. So he's talking this is why Jesus has come to save the world. He's wanting to save these lost people. Even so, it is not the will of your Father which is in heaven that one of these little ones should perish. Moreover, if thy brother shall trespass against thee, go and tell him his fault between thee and him alone. If he shall hear thee, thou hast gained thy brother. But if he will not hear these words, then take with thee one or two more, that in the mouth of 2 or 3 witnesses every word shall be established. And if he shall neglect to hear them, tell it unto the church. But if he neglect to hear the church, let him be until thee as a healthier man and a publican. Or excuse me, as a heathen man and a publican. So basically he's saying, go to your family member and try to resolve things. Try to do it privately. All right, if that doesn't work, take a couple of brothers or sisters in Christ with you and go try to solve it. And lastly, go to the church. A lot of churches have this all backwards, don't they? Somebody gets offended in church, first thing they want to do is go run and cry to the pastor or one of the deacons. Basically, Jesus is saying, go deal with it yourself one-on-one and go from there. But if the person won't listen or won't, accept and deal with the situation, there's not much you can do. I can share with you personal experience that this is one of the reasons why I patched things up with some of my family members, is that these verses in the Bible reached out, they touched my heart, they touched my mind, and it made me see that I had to fix some things. So verily I say unto you, whatsoever ye shall bind on earth shall be bound in heaven. Whatsoever ye shall loose on earth, you shall lose in heaven. He repeats himself a lot, but it's because these people are just not getting it. Again, I say unto you that 2 of you shall agree on earth as touching anything that they shall ask, it shall be done for them for my Father which is in heaven. For where 2 or 3 are gathered together in my name, there I am in the midst of them. Then came Peter to him and said, Lord, how oft shall my brother sin against me, and I forgive him? Till 7 times? See, Peter's going back to, remember I told you the Pharisees and the Sadducees and all these leaders of the time, they had codified with all these rules and regulations, if you would, about what was good, bad, evil, sin, all this. And that's where Peter's coming from. And Jesus said unto him, I say not unto thee until 7 times, but until 70 times 7. So there you go, Peter. I'm going to stop there for today, and we'll pick back up on verse 23 tomorrow. Hope you had a great day. We'll talk more about this. This is really good stuff. I love you. Take care. Bye.